Hello, I'm Steve, and welcome to this very special edition of Soul to Soul, our third Blue Moon special, brought to you from on location here at Melba Gully, near the Otways Ranges in southwestern Victoria. We've got a very special show for you today, which explores tranquility and beauty, and we think that it will be something that will touch your soul. Let's go on a journey into the rainforest. A journey to the rainforest. Good Soul to Soul friends Annie and Graham some years ago bought 27 acres of rainforest bordering the Otways in southern Victoria, Australia. The area is steeped in both beauty and history, as our guide on this journey, Annie, revealed to us on our arrival. While we watched the sights along the Great Ocean Road on our journey to Melba Gully, let's hear what Annie had to say.
If you want to step back in time, it's incredible. This was all logging and industry, and it was a really big deal that the rail came out this far into the western Otways. This property just up the road here, this was a rail yard. It was called Crow's Station, so that was the end of a rail line that ran across the top of the Otways. The Angliss family, William Angliss, had a stave barrel mill here. So they ran a rail line down through Melba Gully, and they cut timber for stave for barrels. And it was tallow, it was fat. They were exporting fat, so they logged that through this gully and on this property, as it turns out. So when we found this out, it was incredible that our neighbours helped us make the connection. But the trail that we walked on tonight, and I told you, it felt like it was a rail line because the gradient was so consistent and it sweeps very gently through the gully. We believe that's the William Angliss rail line and the business associated with him that worked this land all those years ago. So there you go. I don't know dates, don't ask me to tell you dates.
So do you see yourself doing something like that here in the future?
Doing a business? No. This place has a covenant on it, so what that means is it's protected for all time from exploitation of any kind. So it prohibits us from everything. We can't bring a new cat. We can have an existing cat until it dies, and you can't bring a new cat onto this property. That sort of thing. Yeah, you can't plant foreign species. You must do everything you can to eradicate, species that don't belong. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not necessarily a bad thing because that's keeping it.
No, it's good. That's our intention. So we're more than happy, because what that says to us is this is a really significant piece of land. Because it's not huge, but it's big enough that we won't ever see lots of it. And so we just feel like it's important. It's really, really special. And that's why we bought it, because it's covenanted, because it's really significant. It backs up to a national park, and so it has this age-old, timeless feel about it. You can walk down there and feel like you could run into a dinosaur, down in the gully, and it wouldn't be surprising.
Anyway, you've got, 27 acres?
27 acres.
And there's parts of it that you'll never see.
So deep, like the gullies just go down a long way. And it's probably not to normal people. 500 metres won't seem much, but we're about 500 metres above sea level here. And it quickly goes down from here and it flattens out into this sort of quiet plateau and then goes down to the river. It's really vast, like not vast, but really deep. You'd never go in there. It's just too difficult to navigate because it's really raw. No one's ever cleaned it out. So there's lots of fallen timbers and all sorts of things, and ravines and places where you could fall and all that sort of thing. So we'll never see it. Our dream is one day to put a track maybe all around the edges of it. Because down the bottom part, like we're in the top sort of corner of one part of it, and it really falls down as a really steep gully from here. And down the other corner, on the other side of the square, I'd really like to have a look there, because that's where a little creek comes out and becomes something else, which turns into a river. There might be other beautiful waterfalls that are on our land. It'd be nice to see them, because we'd probably be the first people to see them if we actually got down there.
Yeah, because they've probably never been seen.
I don't know. That's the richness of this place. This is the thing that I really appreciate this place, is it's so ancient. It's so ancient and so old. You just don't know who or what has walked through a space. But you can imagine that it's just timeless as you're walking through it. And I suppose that's what I love about it, is that it could be anything. And it could have been forever. For all you know, you're the first person who's ever walked through that space and set foot on that soil and seen that, whatever it is that you're looking at.
Next, in this special edition of Soul to Soul, our guide Annie takes us into the heart of the rainforest. So here we are at Melba Gully with our friend Annie, and Annie's about to give us a tour of the rainforest. What can we expect to see in there, Annie?
What you're going to go into is rainforest. It's been there for thousands of years. It takes a very long time for rainforest to regenerate. So what you're going to see is pure Gondwana land, cool climate. They call it temperate rainforest. You're going to see Myrtle Beach, beautiful tree. I showed you the 3 specimen trees before. We'll show you some beautiful big canopy trees and a little creek and all kinds of things.
Oh, it's exciting.
This is the top of what we call the top track. We believe this track that we're on was once, one of those really simple railway lines that brought up timbers to the stave mill,
so
which was
just
at the top of the road here.
Then.
That's right, and you'll see it as we walk down. It's a really consistent gradient, and it's cut really well into the forest.
Fantastic. Okay, let's head down the track.
You see the big tree in the background there, the one that has the branches that come out laterally. This is a blackwood.
Right.
And this is a beautiful tree that, it's a canopy tree, obviously. It's right up in the top of the gully. It's pretty deep there.
Right.
And these were logged really heavily for the quality of their wood. And that one, maybe 300 or 400 years old, we don't know, but it's been there a long time.
How big is that? How tall? Because that's a deep
Difficult
gully.
to say. It's a very deep gully. I can show you bigger ones, though.
Now, when we were here last night, Annie, we were walking through here, it was pitch black, and this wall that we can see in front of us behind these ferns was actually glowing like the stars in the sky at night. What's that all about?
Yeah, it's pretty special. This area has glowworms, and so what you're seeing is the larva of some kind of insect, and they glow like little stars. Because it's dark out here, there's no other light pollution at all. When you turn your torch off, all you can see are these little spots of light. Sort of a green, difficult to... I think they sort of have different colours in different seasons. And the funny thing is, we were talking again about this track, but the cutting that we're seeing, this bank along this whole left-hand side of this track, was cut by the people who cut this track. So if they hadn't done it, you wouldn't see it, because what they like is the overhang.
Right.
They like this sort of cut-off brick.
So if man hadn't have intervened here, we might not see
you wouldn't see that
glowworms.
there. Yeah.
Fascinating.
That's the track down to the gully. I'll take you down there in a minute, and that's the base of a blackwood, another blackwood. And
That's a big tree.
yeah, that's beautiful. It's very split and lovely. I love the mosses and the epiphytes, the things that grow all over the trees. So you might see a sort of a leaf growing off this low lateral branch here to the left.
Yes.
This is kangaroo something, and that lives on the tree. So, and there are many of that sort of thing.
Now there's a coloured band there with a red and white.
That's just marking the way because, you know, things often fall across the track and they quickly disappear. You have to walk the track, so you're going to lose them. This tree is a myrtle beech, and I showed you 3 specimen trees in the clearing before. You remember?
Yes.
So this is a grown-up version of those trees, and it's a canopy tree. It's very special. So genetically, this tree hasn't changed since the time of Gondwana land. So these trees have stood just like this in places just like this all over Tasmania and southern Victoria in stands like this. But they're pretty rare and unique, and they're quite vulnerable at the moment. There is a nasty fungus that actually will kill them. So we have to be very careful because there are certain places down here that do have it, and we don't have it here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, that tree might be 400, 500, 600 years old.
Wow.
This is a place we call Splendor Bend, and this tree here is a myrtle beech, another one, so that's a very special one. It holds a lot of this bank together, so it's pretty important too. The reason why we call it Slender Bend is these 3 slender tree ferns out here.
Right, they're amazing.
They're really unusual, really, really rare. We've had environmental people come out and look at them and go, oh, there's 3 of them, you know, wow, in one place. And then this one is a triple. If you look at it, it's got 3 shoots.
Oh, yes.
So it's quite breathtaking, really. It's a really special spot. Ironically, the whole thing is at risk from this huge gum on the other side. Can you see through the gum?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so that's, I'll show you, it's got a perilous grip on the bank, and if it comes, it'll come down here and sort of, I suppose you can see how precarious its grip on the bank is, but I bet it was there when they were cutting this bank, so they probably left it there for that purpose, to hold the thing together. Anyway, it's a big tree. Around, it's probably maybe 5 or 6 metres, probably around the base of it there. And you can see to the left a huge snapped off branch that comes down here to the left. That's the size of a small tree itself. And it's still just hanging up there. It's hanging up in a fork. I don't like walking under this tree. Being as tall as that ever in your life.
Wow.
It's like 50 feet high. It's coming from
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. It doesn't look it in the size of the nature, but when you look at it individually, it is majestic. Big.
And they're so vulnerable. Look at them. A couple of wind is knock them out. But you can be down here on days when it's howling wind up there.
And they're
still
protected.
is down here, yeah.
Yes.
That looks like a black snail.
It is a black snail.
Oh,
It's a carnivorous snail.
A carnivorous
It
snail?
is. They just feed on the forest floor, and they feed on, you know, meat things, dead things. They're pretty rare. You see a lot of empty shells. That one had its head out, but it's just slid back in there. So it's a pretty big one.
Now that we've got the camera out.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's carnivorous, a snail.
It is. It's very unusual.
Wow,
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to fall asleep near him.
I don't think they suck your blood. I think they eat you after you're gone.
Oh, either way, okay.
Yeah.
Annie, what's that stuff dangling from the tree over there?
It's old man's beard. It's another epiphyte. So it's just hanging, it's an air plant. So it just hangs there and sort of draws nutrition and water out of the air.
Oh, Annie, this is absolutely stunning. What are we looking at here? This is obviously a waterfall, but where's all this coming from?
We were up before at a small pond at the top of this gully. This gully runs down, this joins a couple of other things, I guess, and ultimately it becomes the Johanna River, so it comes out at Johanna Beach.
Right.
It's fresh water, and I've never tasted it, but
I was going to say, is it drinkable? Yeah.
I don't know.
If you listen to the water, it has its own concert, huh?
Yeah.
Its own sound.
I love this place. It's so beautiful. It's just, there's every chance we might have platypus, which would be fantastic. I've never seen one here, but they are definitely in the Otways, so that would be nice.
Do you get a lot of native animals like coming onto the property and coming here
Absolutely.
to drink?
It's obviously a consistent water source for them. There's unfortunately a lot of feral animals, but it's not unlikely to see a wallaby as you're doing a walk like this. Less and less would be eastern grey kangaroos. You don't see koala here. They're different places on the Otways.
Right.
Yeah, sort of naturally, it's quite quiet. The biggest life are your antechinus and your ground-dwelling sort of rodenty things, and hopefully quoll. Quoll would be fantastic. I'd like to imagine quoll coming here and having a drink.
Indeed.
Yeah, I haven't got any evidence of it, but I'm told they're here, which is fantastic to know.
Now, we were talking yesterday about the spirit of place and that energy that you feel when you walk into a place, and this is definitely one of those places, isn't it? You can feel it. It's almost heavy in the air, this sense of almost tranquility. It's almost the opposite to everything that most of us experience in our daily lives, isn't it?
Like, it's so peaceful.
You live here.
I live here. But I don't come here very often. I don't make it my business to come down here. I love to know. What I actually really love knowing about this place is that it's here no matter what I'm doing or where I am. This place is just standing here just like this. Sometimes it's raining, sometimes the sun's coming down, but it's just quietly, peacefully doing its thing whilst, the world ticks around out there. And I like the fact that because of me, that's happening. Whether I don't have to be here to appreciate it, is what I'm saying. It speaks to me no matter where I am, this place.
Brilliant. That's real connection.
It is. I love it. I love it. The minute I set foot on this property and we came for a walk down to this spot, we just knew we had to be here. We had to look after this special, special place. See this big chunk?
Yes.
Well, that's a fallen one.
Yes.
And there's the head of it.
You started over again. There you go. No way. And look at that one too. Turn around.
The incredible thing about the rainforest is that it really is a story of history. It's a story about life and growth and living and dying and falling and regeneration and starting the whole process again. Here we time travel. Here we look back into history, and here we see the seeds of the future growing all around us.
Look at your breath, it's steamy. See the drips?
Well, this has been an incredible experience. Thank you so much, Andy, for showing us through this incredible 27-acre rainforest right here in southwestern Victoria. It's been brilliant, hasn't it?
It's been amazing. Thank you.
It's absolutely my pleasure.
It's really been.
Soul to soul. It's now time to find a comfortable position to sit in front of your screen, preferably with some headphones on if you can. As Soul to Soul presents this open-eyed meditation brought to you exclusively from Melba Gully. Allow yourself to become one with the forest. It's now time to leave the forest. To feel cleansed, to feel all our negativity has been washed away. That essence of the rainforest, that sense of tranquility, may stay with you for the rest of your day.
Soul to soul.
A message from the realms.
A most opportune momentum is now beholding this world in a most spectacular way of existence. And as all begin to see this and fully understand this and best observe it in their own unique way of being, then all will most certainly begin to understand it and come to realize that we as one whole human nature have evolved past what was, and we are now threading forward into new existential effects that we all will now soon discover in our own unique way of being. So as all begin to see this and fully understand this from their own true inner sanctuary of existence, then all will begin to see it and observe it and understand it and bring it a higher perspective of understanding from within their own unique way of being. So now to applaud this and come to realize this has become this world that we are now witnessing as one whole entity in itself, we can then begin to best observe all, as all are trying as hard as can be to see this new world from their own true way of being in their own inner sanctuary of existence. So when all begin to see this and fully understand this and come to correlate this to the most spectacular place from within their own beingness, then all will begin to see that this sheer fantasy of existence is now beginning to unfold itself. So all can and must choose, how is it that we all will come to be these ones of extreme texturing effect in this whole creational endeavor that we have now all forsaken to do and to observe and to experience here now. So to begin to see this and fully understand this and truly feel why we are here now, why are things changing so rapidly, so quickly, so strongly, in all ways of expression that humanity can possibly best describe, I think that becomes a point in time when all can begin to realize that we all have come here now to fully experience this grand change, this grand event that is now unfolding in this world and around it also in higher perspectives of being. So, my dear and beloved ones of light, we are all here to transgress forward into this new space of existence. No matter what one has so desired to experience from this past exemplary effect, all must now choose what it is all are so wanting now to experience in their own true unique way of being. And as all learn to hear and see this and fully understand this from within their own unique perspective, then all will begin to see that light has prevailed once again, this nation of humanity. And we are now all forging as one unity consciousness in such a way as to behold this, such a light, and to bring it forward into its grandness of existence. So now, we, as one human functioning unity consciousness, we are united as one big family of light here now. So now it is time to come to fully understand this from within each and every one now coexisting in this full patterning effect of what one would so best describe as its own true unique way of being in all that I am. So when all that I am fully comes to be and see this, we shall then be able to fully ascend as one full-on light unity consciousness into all the more of all that is forever possible to best experience from within and with all that coexist in such a way of being. From within all realms and specifications of what one would so call its own true exemplary effect in itself and for all that I am. And so it is. So we, as one light configuration, have now come forward and shared this grand message of love to the whole of humanity. For it is our duty to hold such a space and to proclaim such a light. For it is one of true specification where all must find their own true way of being in order to behold such a space of enlightened state of existence. And so it is. Namaste. For I am love, and of co-creative endeavor with the whole of existence. And so it is.
Well, that's all we have for this special edition of Soul to Soul.
Our sincere thanks go out to our special guest Annie, the keeper of the rainforest.
We would also like to thank the management and staff at RPP FM for their cooperation in the making of this episode.
And don't forget that Soul to Soul can now be heard 3 times a week.
New episodes premiere Mondays at 11 a.m.
with repeats Wednesdays at 1 p.m. and Sundays at 9 p.m. Namaste.
The divine in us salutes.
The divine in you.